Hello, my art friends. I have another soft pastel review for you today. The company Arrtx reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out their pastels. They appeared to be a more affordable brand, and of course I said yes, because not everybody wants to purchase a $100 set of pastels, and I understand that, so I am going to review these for you today and see if the more affordable brands are any good. Let's talk about these a little bit before we open them up and see how we like them. This set of 48 is $39.99, which comes out to about 83 cents a stick. Now, in comparison, the Paul Rubens that I just reviewed a couple days ago was $1.07 a stick. And that was a half stick, by the way. And the Unison full sticks, just so you know, a full stick Unison is $5.50. Now, I have a lot of Sennelier in my collection. I couldn't really get a solid price. The big Paris set that I first bought is on sale, which made the sticks pretty affordable. I think they were $1 or less for a half stick. But if you buy them in smaller sets, they're more expensive. So unless you have over $100 to put down on a set of Senneliers, they're probably going to run you this range or higher, I'm guessing, for a half stick. Now, of course, the Schmidt keys and your Terry Ludwigs, those are all really expensive. They're probably more than Unisons. I didn't look them up. I just know they're expensive. I also tried to look up Mungayo, however you want to pronounce it. I have a set of their soft pastels. I very much like them. They are a little more affordable. I couldn't find an exact price, and I reviewed it like 3 years ago, so I know the price isn't going to be the same. I'm going to guess that brand, their professional soft pastels, are around the price point of this. So there is the price differences. Of course, this doesn't matter if these aren't decent, but you know, we're going to get into that in a moment. All right, so let's get into the exciting stuff. Let's open up this pristine box of soft pastels. Oh, well, this is nice. So we have a little bit of a color chart. And really, this is just giving us an idea of what the color is, which is nice. I will make my own color chart, of course, but I appreciate this. All right, here we go. The Arrtx. There's no wrappers. That's good, because I get annoyed with wrappers. They look like they're from a machine, but at that price point, that I would expect they're not handmade. Clearly marked, they've got a number on it, so if you run out, I don't know if they have these in open stock or not, but at least we'll be able to identify our swatches. They came to us nice, a little bit of dust, but they're soft pastels. If they weren't dusty coming from Amazon, I would wonder. All right, at first glance, it looks like a pretty decent variety. I see a lot of nice darks down here. We have some dark blues and greens, all the way to a couple of lights. Not a whole lot of lights in here, but for a set of 48, I think this is a decent variety. Now let's get this nice pink out. Ooh, that seems pretty soft. Wow. Okay. All right, well, I was going to say they kind of remind me of Rembrandts, but no, they don't. Oh, all right, Arrtx. All right, let's just pick out this random blue one. Let's see if that's just as soft as that pink. A little bit. Okay. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. We're going to go ahead and test out a few on some sanded paper. I'm going to let you know where I think they fall in my soft to hard grid of soft pastels. Then we're going to swatch the whole set, see what I think about the color selection, and we'll do a fun little piece of art for you. Okay, before we start getting into this, I'm going to let you know what my preferences are for soft pastels. Now, I went ahead and made a better chart, but anyway, I've tested quite a few of the mainstream brands on their hard to softness and rank them. So we'll go through what I feel, just so you know, just so you have a comparison of what I feel. Soft pastels are very personable. What I like might not be what you like. Anyway, so in my book, the super soft pastels are number ones. That's your Schmidtke's. To me, those are the softest pastels I've ever worked with. Your number twos, I just call soft. This is where I like the majority of my pastels, and they're going to be comparable to Blue Earth and Sennelier. Sennelier is what I have mainly in my studio box. So these are the ones that I use and reach for on a daily basis. Now, your number threes, these are going to be soft but pretty sturdy. It's like a good medium, I would say. And this is where the Paul Rubens, Unison, and Mangallo fall in to my category. They're still soft, but you can get away with using these for your base layers. Now, the number fours in my world are the Terry Ludwig's Great American. They're pretty firm, really good for your first layer starting out where you don't want to lay down too much color. And now my number fives, what I consider the hard pastels of the world, Diane Townsend, Rembrandts, and New Pastels. Those are the hardest pastels I usually work with. Now, all of these have a place in my collection. I use a lot of the harder ones for my first layers, and I work my way up to the super soft, my top layers. So every pastel has somewhere in my collection. But I'm going to be using this as kind of a base to explain how soft these are for you. Okay, I'm going to grab one from every line here and just give them a good old test out. Let's get this nice marigold color. This is sanded pastel paper. I mainly use sanded paper, so if I could get out a pastel mat, I'll probably swatch these out on a pastel mat, but this is what I use, so let's just go right for it. Pretty nice. Now, the lighter colors tend to be a little softer. This looks pretty soft. Ooh, my. That's very buttery. Wow. Okay, so I've gotten out some of my other colors to compare them with. This is going to be the one I'm comparing. I just picked some purples. Okay, now this is really soft, so I already know it's way softer. This is a Terry Ludwig, but I'm still going to compare. Yeah. I got a Unison. Yeah, okay. This is a Rembrandt. Yeah, that's a lot. I could tell that's a lot harder. All right, so now we have the Mangallo, my Sennelier. Here's a Schmidtke, and then our Arrtx. I'm actually impressed by how soft this is. Oh yeah, this is way softer. All right, so we'll get this out here. Where is a Paul Rubens? Let me go get one of those. Here's one of the new Paul Rubens. Ooh, way softer. Way softer than the Paul Rubens. Okay, let me get out a Blue Earth. A little softer than Blue Earth. So what am I doing here? I'm trying to get a feel to describe to you, the viewer, where I think the softness lays. And I think it's pretty clear. I think I know where this needs to go. Here are my initial thoughts, and this could change after I swatch all these out. I think this is actually going to be in the 2 for the soft category. I'm going to put it right underneath the Sennelier. And it's hard. Textures between colors will vary. It is really super close to the Mangallo, which I like, by the way. So these are a favorite of mine. They're really close, but this is just coming off just a little smoother, I think, on the paper, at least in the sanded paper. And then you're going to have the Paul Rubens in Unison. The Unison is a little bit stiffer than these. That's why I think it needs to be bumped up to that next category. So let me go ahead, get a little swatch chart, have some fun, put on some music, just enjoy the process, and I'll be back. We have the palette swatched out. Some things to note. The size of these are almost a little chunky for me. I just don't know if these are going to be your detailed pastels, but like I said, I still have to do a painting with them, so we'll see. Other than that, they're very nice. I think the majority of them are smooth and really buttery. A couple of them are a little harder, but I see those variances with every brand. I think we could have done without a couple. Like, these are all very close. We could have had one of those removed, maybe another light added. Got a lot of same blues over here. I always like the variations in green. I don't care how close they are. I always use all of them. I liked both these colors, but they were very close. So yeah, I think you could have taken out a couple colors, added some lighter ones. You get pretty dark in here. I don't know if this is a true black, but there are some darks. I think you can probably pull off close to a whole painting with just this set. I would like to see a couple more lights, but we can work with this. Now, my... So I wanted to point out real quick that there was hardly any dust. Like usually when I do any pastel work, there's quite a bit of a lip here that I have to clean off. There's not even a little pile of dust down here. That's very impressive. My final thoughts. These are really good. I'm not even just talking about for the price, which they are fantastic for the price. These aren't just, I'm going to use these once for review budget pastels. I'm going to use these a lot. These are nice and buttery pastels. They really reminded me of my Sennelier. They're just a little thicker, so if that bothers you, maybe these aren't for you. But I didn't have any problems with it. I did some little detail-y stuff. You can always break these in half and get a nice crisp edge if you need to. But yeah, they were super soft, just like I like my pastels. I was able to get some base layers. I did use some alcohol for an underpainting, but hey, I do that almost all the time anyway. I do some kind of underpainting. So yeah, these are fantastic. I'm going to say if you need a new set of pastels or you're going to buy a present for somebody and you don't know what they have or like, I think these are really good. I don't think you can go wrong with these. Thank you to Arrtx for sending these to me. These were pleasantly a surprise. Thank you again. And hey, you guys, if you like these kind of reviews, give this a thumbs up so I know what kind of supplies you like to see. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.